Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Maker Faire in this last third day of this exhibition. Welcome to Sony CSL here in Rome, and we are here to lead you to the last day of our installation, our exhibitions. And I'm very pleased to be here today with another researcher from Sony CSL, who is Pietro Gavino, is next to me.
Hi, Alessandro.
Hello, good morning to you too.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm very fine. I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, a bit tired because yes, this
Yeah.
exhibition is really very exhausting, but we are very glad to be with you. And yeah, I want to remind all of you who's listening us that we are here not only for Maker Faire, which is an excellent exhibition in general. There are a lot of incredible, astonishing installations around, but also because we are celebrating the 25th birthday, let's say, anniversary of Sony CSL, which has been found in Tokyo 25 years ago. And after more or less 10 years, um, the laboratory has been extended in France too. So there is a Sony CSL Paris. But, and this is the very interesting news, since few months we have two more laboratories. We have one laboratory in Kyoto, and mainly, this is very important for Italian people, we have another laboratory here in Rome. So actually we are working in collaboration with Paris and Rome at the same time. And not only the same days, we are also, showing the what we call the Sony
Open house.
open house. Yeah, every year Sony CSL decided to open the doors to the public in order to show what we are doing, the scientific side, the technological side, and to let the researchers to interact with people, with installations, and all the details that the common public can ask to science in order to understand what we are doing. So yesterday has been a very, very interesting and exciting day. We had two very relevant panels. The first one in the morning, um, thanks to the music team from Sony CSL, we had a discussion and say a panel where also there was a relevant French artist who used all the tools and all the plugins that they developed in Paris in order to support creativity in music. So this is one of our philosophy. We use machines in order to not only create something new autonomously, but also to support artists or other people to create them. So some kind of stimuli for people who wants to create music, text, language, everything else. So the second panel in the afternoon was led by Pietro Gavino, who is next to me, and I would like to ask you, so what is your impression of your panel concerning information and misinformation?
Thanks, Alessandro. I'm really happy about my panel because I got the opportunity to talk with really amazing speakers that accepted the invitation to join. And the important thing is that the panel was not around some specific technical aspect, but we had a really broad view, a large portrait of the situation from several different points of view. We had Giulia Boldi, that is a lawyer and a researcher on constitutional law, that told us all the juridical aspects. What are the constraints? What are the kind of action that can be taken in order to fight misinformation without damaging our personal rights, our civil rights, like the freedom of expression? Because the danger to become censors is really close when you deal with these sort of problems. We also had Claudio Capon, that as an expert of journalism at the international level is now secretary of COPEAM, which is the permanent organization of the audiovisual operators of the Mediterranean area. he's supporting an initiative that is called the Journalism Trust Initiative that aims to promote quality journalism, to provide metrics about the transparency of the sources, about the transparency of the funding of journals and newspapers. And the transparency is very, very important because as we do for food, as we do for any other kind of product that we can buy, we can know where it has been built or where the food comes from. Instead, for news, we usually do not know that. And that's crucial. That's very important to understand because otherwise we will struggle to understand if the information is reliable or not. Yeah, we had also other guests explaining other very interesting aspects. For example, Fabiana Zollo explained us the importance of context in evaluating fake news and disinformation in general. She's one of the top scientists in the sector, so her work is just amazing and an example for me. And we also had Anja Kaspersen. She's a person with an incredible history of work in international organizations like the UN or the Red Cross. And she told us about other angles of the question, like what's the problem of disinformation in third world countries or in war zones, for example, and how these narratives can also be weaponized for geopolitical purposes. And so our contribution enlarged the topic because as a scientist, I tend to focus on a really specific aspect, sometimes also in few nations of the first world, but it's a global problem.
Yeah.
And finally, there was also Marco Del Mastro that as a scientist, is an economist, but he has a very strong formation in statistics. And as an former dependent of Agicom, the Italian authority for guaranteeing communication, managed to explain a bit of misunderstandings that are around fake news and misinformation. So it was a very large portrait of the situation.
Yeah, actually, it was really, really very interesting. And I think that everyone who followed this streaming was really satisfied by your performances. Just one very quick question for you. Can you just tell us your scientific contribution for misinformation? I mean, for example, talking a few minutes about your installations who are presented here at Maker Faire concerning misinformation and disinformation or that, or Cartesio project. Yeah.
Misinformation and disinformation are really important topics for us. Here at Maker Faire, we brought two projects. One is called Cartesio, and the other one is called We Write, and it's not really related to misinformation, but Cartesio is a study of the ability of people to doubt about news. We propose news to users and we ask them to express their percentage of trust in the news, in the piece of news. And with all their opinion, we managed to reconstruct the space of doubt and to understand the way we doubt about things. For example, we have seen that we tend to agree on the extremes in the sense that if something is true or false, it's easy to agree on that. But in the middle, what happens is that there are extreme opinions, things that do not have an average that is particularly high or particularly low, have a distribution of opinion that is really extremized. So we tend to segregate, we tend to polarize on that. And that's where the social debate struggles, because it's really difficult to interact with people with a different point of view.
Yeah. Oh, this is really very, very interesting and exciting. I want to wish you the best for the future of your
Thanks.
work, because it's really relevant in our society and for the future. Well, maybe everybody is now listening a little bit of noise in background because people and public is entering our pavilion. I remind all of you that this is the last day in Maker Faire exhibition. So if you want to come, yeah, you have few hours to interact with our installations. I also want to remind you that 10:30 is going to be the next and the last panel for today, which involves the work of the Parisian team for sustainability. And so they are going to talk about robotics for microfarms, which is a very exciting and interesting topic. I suggest you to follow this appointment, and I think at 3 p.m. are going to be the last conclusions given by the Sony CSL Paris director Vittorio Loreto, who will greet every one of you for being with us. And yeah,
And
you want to add something?
between the panel and the conclusions, there will also be 3 interviews specifically on the different projects of the sustainability team that are amazing, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. We really suggest you to follow us for the next hours. So thank you for following us, and
Thank
have a
you.
nice day, and see you next time. Bye.